Hi everyone, I'm your coach Nishat, and today I'm going to talk about five mistakes that parents do while working on speech of their child. And these five mistakes are very common. Even I, as a parent, have done that. So I don't want you to repeat it. And that's what I'm going to teach in this entire masterclass. We are going to go and see where we are lacking and where we can bring the progress. So let's begin. Okay, so it is a masterclass, and why your child is not talking yet. Five mistakes made by parents from the age 2 to 6, and the framework that fix them all. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the framework that is going to fix these problems. Why the child is not talking. Okay, and this is for the toddler parents from 2 to 6 years old, and I'm helping them only. I'm as an ADHD and a parenting coach for speech delay kids. I help parents understand their kids in a better way and understand them in a better way, okay, and get the results out. Now, what are the results that I will promise? It will be a realistic results that I will be promised. If the child is not having eye contact, you will get eye contact. If the child is not having name response, you will get name response. If you enroll for my course, you have to give me some realistic goals and we work together for 120 days and get those goals done. So instead of googling reels, watching reels and watching YouTube tutorials, it's so important that you need to get your goals aligned. Now, what I bring to your life, I bring a personalized approach in your life. I bring a very, it's completely as per you, a roadmap that you need to go. We watch a lot of videos on YouTube and Instagram, but is this applicable for my child? Based on whatever milestone delays they have. We are parents are confused, and that's what I'm going to do in your life. Going to remove that confusion and give you a clear roadmap to move ahead in your life. So, what does the parent tell me? Okay, first of all, when we are talking about speech, okay, when we are talking about speech, we think speech is the first goal. I don't think so. That's absolutely wrong. If you see the pyramid over here, is they work, the regulation is the very first step. Okay, it's a broader prospect, and it's a the child needs the nervous system needs to be very calm. The child needs to engage, needs to learn, needs to have the sitting tolerance. If that is achieved, then only we can work on the other, pillars of the communication. Second is joint attention. When I'm saying joint attention, when I'm showing a cup to a child, me, the object, and the child, all three are looking at the same object. That is called joint attention. See, moon. So even the child is looking, the parent is looking, and this is a joint attention that the child is understanding the instruction that the father or the mother is telling to watch an object. This is joint attention. So sharing focus with you. That's a very big, achievement. If the child does that, you have accomplished 50% of your goals. Second is understanding, making sense of language, following instruction. Simple instruction. If there are two blocks, put the red block in the black basket, put the yellow block in the blue basket. This is a simple instruction, and then this is speech. The last thing that we need to focus is on speech. Speech, when sounds come ah, e, oo, these sounds, then words apple, mama, mum, papa, and all these kind of words come, and then sentences of mama apple do na, mama pani do na, give me water. So these things need to be understood first. Okay. Now most parents start from the top. They start from speech. Yeah, he's not talking. Is he made eye contact with you? Is his name response good? Is his joint attention good? We have not paid attention on these factor and we are directly jumping on speech. I don't think so. We need to work on these pillars, then only you will be able to get speech. And for this, when you're traveling the journey from regulation to speech, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of patience. And if you get that patience, then your journey will be successful. I am a mother, gone through the same thing. I was also focusing on speed. Then I realized that my son does not have regulation. He's not sitting calmly and focusing on anything. I need to get that. Then I understood that he does not have a joint. I worked on that. Then I understood, is he understanding my instruction, what I'm saying? Yes. Then only a speech came. First, I worked on all these aspects, and then I decided that yes, now I can work on speech. So this is what my framework is all about. Okay. So what are the common, mistakes that parents make? First mistake that parents make is make them repeat words all day. Say ball, say it again, say ball, pressure instead of connection. I hate when parents do that. Ball, bolo, bolo, bolo. The repetition drills can create avoidance and shutdown. Then the parents come and come. He's not listening to us. He's become stubborn because you did not took an attempt to connect with the child to make him comfortable and then casually get those words out. You directly started with this drilling of you need to tell this word, you need to say this word, please say this word and all. Speech is the last layer of the pyramid. It is a end goal, speech, not the one to drill first. We are only focusing on speech. We need to work on the foundations. If the foundations are strong, speech will come automatically. If your child is not talking, pressure will not fix this. They will shut down. They will go into fight or flight mode. They will not listen to you, do whatever you want. So we need to first connect with the child, not forcing the child to say anything, just casually playing with the child, wrapping up the things and keeping in the cupboard. That's it. You will get. Okay. Our second mistake is that parents do. They come and they tell me on clarity call is by watching TV, he learned ABCD, he learned, poems, and they're very proudly saying all these things. And when I say, does he answer what is your name? What is your mother name? Are you happy? The child is not, no. He does not call mama, papa. So there is no back and forth conversation over here. Just giving the child the screen and he will learn from there. Our tension is gone. I don't want to, get involved in all these things. These kind of concerns are there of parents, and they when I make them realize, they are like, yeah, he does not speak. The actual conversation that I am doing with you guys, he's not doing that. So over here it is screen talks 80 a child. Never wait for response. Sorry. Screen talks at a child. Never wait for the response. Okay. Real language grows in back and forth movement, not one way input. Screen is what? It's one way input. You're just, listening and you're repeating. It's like a more of a robotic approach and not a human approach. Okay. The child is glued with the screen, isn't practicing muscles of noticing you. He's not noticing the parent. He doesn't care about what the parents are doing. I love the screen, I love the visuals, and I'm like, wow. And that's it. Every screen minute is a missed rep of connection. How much time are you giving the screen will decide, you know, how much delayed the child will be. Okay. So now it is like everything is on screen, what we can do, everything is on the screen. You have to bring them to the ground level and start human to human conversation. Then only you are going to get the results, not like that. Okay. The third mistake that parents do is teach only during study time. I am like, they are like, what they do normally, 20 minutes flashcards a day isn't child actual, learning language. I used to also do this, show them the flashcards and everything. Understanding builds in tiny little moments like bath time, snack time, and car rides. Like when my son was always interested in cooking, so I told him, let's, break the egg, you know. So he learns now. He's 4 years old and he breaks the egg beautifully in the bowl, and then he will ask Mama salt. We will add salt. We will mix it. He started learning a lot of words by doing that particular actions. Everything whatever he does, I used to put words like if he's picking up a red color, now you're picking red color, let's color red. So whatever we are doing, we are converting it into words, and that's how the language is built. Now parents are saying we don't have that much of time. You need to remove the time because you made a choice to bring a person in your life. Then you need to have that kind of a priority set up that needs to be done when you bring a life to it. Otherwise you're spoiling the future of the child. So it's very very important for us to understand that where the real conversations are built. The real conversations are built in the real moments, like drawings, eating, cooking, all these kinds of plays. When you are having a long drive, you can talk and have a conversation with your child. So these kind of inputs are very important. Okay. Isolated lessons rarely transfer into communication. We are so much gadget freak right now. We everything is on the cell phones and all this. We have forgotten to have this real conversation that is important. Again, the another important thing is the joint family setup has been, gone from our life. We are living in a nuclear setup. That's also affecting. Lot of factors are affecting, and that is why the speech, there are maximum cases of speech delay in kids today because we are living in an isolated society. So language is taught throughout the day, not taught in a single session. We have done the speech therapy and we have done the OT and our job is done. No, your job is not done. Your job starts after sessions. What have the therapist done? Repeat that at home. Try to create moment of conversation and try to get the language out of the child. Okay. Ignoring sensory regulation. A dysregulated child can't attend, engage, and learn. Okay. No matter how good the activity is, if he is dysregulated, if his nervous system is not relaxed, is not calm, he's not ready to engage with you. If he's having some sensory issues, then you need to tackle those sensory issues first. Okay. Like meltdowns, this is a very big sensory issue. Hyperactivity, shutting down our uh, regulation issues, not bad behaviors. I won't tell these are bad behaviors. If the child is crying, is stubborn, he's not listening, he's hyperactive, he's whatever you say, he does not respond, that means there is some regulation issues, and you need to help your child with this with various kind of inputs. Either it can be a vestibular input or a tactile input or a proprioceptive inputs. Okay. Now, you can't build a language or nervous system that isn't ready. You cannot build a language where, if you are dysregulated, if you're not happy, satisfied, not, in a mode of, focusing on things, because so much of screen addiction is there. Plus, whatever, we are eating all the dirt, packaged food, colored, coated toffees and candies, all these things are in our body, and then we are expecting child to talk. What kind of inputs are we giving? So the output will come as it is, and then you will live in a guilt that why I couldn't help my child and all these things. So it's better that we, work on all these aspects. Okay. Fifth mistake, and a very important mistake, expecting speech before communication. Parents often measure progress by words alone. But pointing, eye contact, gesture, shared play, like look, playing with a toy, I'm playing with and I'm looking at my father or a mother. That is a communication. Sharing a happiness with the father and the mother. And that comes first, my dear parents, not words and everything. Chasing speech directly without the layer beneath it. And that's why the progress is stopped. We are not understanding the mentality of the child. I've been teacher for so many years, and the kids come and ask me all the doubts because I have created that kind of a comfort zone that you don't have to be scared to ask me any doubt. Same goes with the parents also. We are so much into showing people that my child is this, that, and we forgot the core thing that I just need to connect with the child. I just need that thing and I'm not doing it properly. How can I, improve this? Okay. Every mistake so far come back to this one belief. That is, you know, so five activities to start today. I would recommend five. Narrate, don't. If you are expecting a child to do something like this is orange, this is apple, this is uh, papaya and all, any fruit. Describe what is this. What is this? You describe. If he's not answering, narrate it. No, do not force him to speak. Okay. If he is comfortable, he will use those words. If he is not, he won't. Okay. Follow their lead. Second very important thing that I would suggest dear parents is follow their lead. Understand what they like and follow them. Try to do what they are doing. And if a child likes to draw, let's draw with him. If the child likes to play with the block in a certain way, play with them, and create that kind of communication. And if the child is playing with a block, we can have a poem, London Bridge is falling down, falling down. Whatever, you need to understand what they like. Built in a sensory break. Now, what is a sensory breaks? Very important. If a child is a sensory seeker, hyperactivity is there, keep a swing at home. Textures like a sensory brush or some, movements like a bear walk or a crab walk or a frog jump or a duck walk. Regulate the body before you teach anything. Whenever I want my child to sit and do anything, I make sure I do his sensory dive. First, I will tell him to push the chair with a lot of luggage, or I'll tell him to, do the bear walks or anything like that. I'll tell him to jump a little. Tell him to roll, or I will do the gym ball pressure. I'll, give him a good massage, and then I give him any table activity. He will sit and he will complete the activity, and my work is done. So build a sensory breaks in between. Whenever you are making a goal is there that your child needs to finish all these things, you need to keep 15 minutes, activities of 15 minutes, and there should be a 5 minutes sensory breaks in between. So if he's dysregulated, he can get back to track whenever, do it. Use real life moment. You don't need to have, special teachers, special therapies every day and all that. You can create real life moment, like I said, cooking with the child. My son even wash the clothes. I wash clothes, so I give him brush, he will wash. I'll fold the laundry, he will fold the laundries with me. So I'm not looking for something special classes for him. No, whatever is there at home, I'm teaching him. Today he's 4 years old. He know how to make egg. He know how to make idli. He knows how to make dosa. Like he'll put that. I'll do that thing. He will make ada teda, but I try to help him do that. Okay. He knows how to make tea. He knows how to make cake. So we have taught him all these things, and from there I got a lot of words and sentences and speech because I made sure all these activities are followed. Celebrate every attempt. The fifth and the final thing that I would say is, if you points only one time also now, that's a victory for you, my dear parents. A sound, a gesture, reward is exactly like you would, for you would be a word. Okay. sorry, cut this off. Just a point, a sound, or a gesture is what I would suggest over here. Okay, so these are the five things that I would suggest in this master class. Instead of doing those five mistakes, do these five things with the kids and see how you will see the changes in your child. Okay, when should I seek help? Okay, now you need to seek help. You cannot just work on yourself. You don't have to wait for for a crisis to ask for support. Your child is 2 to 6 years still not talking less than their peers. You tried tips on the real Google, but nothing seems to stick. You don't know what layer of pyramid your child is actually stuck at. You want to plan build around your child, not a generic checklist, like a personalized plan. This exactly what the milestone mastery method is built to diagnose and fix layer by layer for your child specifically. So your child roadmap starts with one call. Okay. If your child is between 2 to 6 years old and you're looking for a personalized roadmap, built around their exact stage on the communication pyramid, book a clarity call, DM me clarity, and we will book a clarity call. And that's how we are going to work. Thank you so much. So, dear parents, DM me the word clarity if you need help. If you are stuck and confused between these layers that where exactly my child is, I will help you diagnose that. I will give you your personalized roadmap, how you need to work with your child at home, and what kind of mindset does a parent needs to have. I'm going to give you everything. Okay. So just DM me the word clarity and I will help you out over here. Thank you so much.